So I literally just watched 28 Weeks Later, hours before watching this one, thinking I needed to see this movie to understand this movie, and it didn't even matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. What's going on, my YouTuber subscribers? Hope you guys are having a great Juneteenth, because the second of two movies are out this weekend, and that is 28 Years Later, the sequel to the acclaimed 28 Weeks Later, which is the sequel to 28 Days Later, the hit zombie movie that put zombie movies on the map. So now, almost 20 years later, we get the sequel, and I got back from seeing it. And is it good? Not really. This movie, narratively wise, is not the zombie movie that you expect it to be. In fact, if you're going to this movie expecting some zombie car, that you're going to be disappointed thoroughly. Like I said, I walked out this movie just like, this feels nothing like 28 weeks, 28 days, 28 nothing. In fact, I will argue that this movie was probably born one movie, but then the studio was like, well, we don't really know how to market this to the general audience. So you know what? What if we put the 28 weeks later on it? Call it 28 years later. That'll get fans to watch it. Slap a couple of trailer shots in it and boom, 28 years later. I swear that's what it felt like. If this movie was just like, there were only two parts of the movie that felt like 28 something later, and that was the beginning of the movie and literally the last 5 minutes of the movie. The middle part was like The Revenant 1.1 or something. I'm not gonna waste no more of your time. Look at the good and bad of why I feel like 28 years later didn't even need to be made. Like I said, it doesn't even feel like a 28 years anything. It just feels like a drama movie that just happens to be in the world of this movie. So let's talk about it. I think of the movie, Aaron Taylor Johnson, he's like sort of the main character we're following for the first 20 minutes of this movie, and he's okay. Like I said, something about Aaron Taylor Johnson just taking on these roles. He's like he has to redeem himself after Craven and be like, yeah, I am a great actor. I can do this. And he is, and acting wise, on paper, he is good. He does portray a father that's like, yeah, I'm going to teach you how to hunt in the zombie apocalypse. Sort of, that's what we're calling it, right? In the movie too, like I said, he carries the next half of the movie like the whole rest of the movie, and I felt like his acting was good too. So like I said, the acting in the movie, it's not really the issue. It's not the issue at all. The acting's fine. Okay, plot of the movie. What's the movie about? Okay, more or less the movie somewhat establishes that, yeah, this movie takes place, I guess, in the world of 28 weeks later. And, yeah, you got this father and son. They're on this camp, and there's, a secluded island, and I guess Scotland or whatever. And him and his son just go out to the mainland to do some hunting. Next thing you know, they're shooting zombies and then shenanigans ensues. The movie, more or less, is a drama at its heart. Zombie apocalypse movie. That's kind of an afterthought. Good. What's the good in the movie? Well, how about the horror? It's a horror movie with zombies. How was that? Like I said, the zombies, when they were attacking in the first half of the movie and the last half of the movie that you saw in the trailers, probably, that was pretty good. That was intense. That was like, yeah, it's 28 weeks later, what I remember. But like I said, if you're looking for that zombie apocalypse, zombie outbreak movie that, like, literally, I watched 28 weeks later, a couple hours before I saw this movie, and the difference is just, it's just different. What the main thing I could say is that it didn't even matter if there were zombies in this movie at all or infected. It didn't matter because they didn't play any type of integral role in this movie like they did in the last movie. Like, in the last movie was like, yeah, they had to be zombies because he was like, oh, we gotta figure out what's affecting them, and like, oh, some people are affected, how do they get infected, how do they affect other people and shit like that. Some people are immune, like, yeah, like that was some main plot points in the last movie that they had to be zombies. This movie was like, they could have been wolves or cocaine bears or goo people. Wouldn't matter. In fact, you take zombies out altogether, the movie would have been no different. But we gotta put the zombies in there because it's called 28 Years Later. So that's gonna sell it. That's gonna put the butts in the seat. That does pull out the drama. The drama is like, it's not bad. It's good. Like I said, with the son and the mom, and the mom's, she's losing her mind and shit. The son's trying to come to terms with all that stuff and learning how to be a man, a efficient hunter. Like, those themes are in the movie and they do pull it off well. It's all fine and good, but don't put it in my 28 Years Later movie. Put that in another movie. But I will say one good standout is the shots in the movie. Like, there are a lot of good cinematic shots in this movie, like good shots that make like good trailer shots. Like, oh yeah, this is just all the camera angles and stuff. That's good stuff. That makes the movie stand out. That makes the movie sort of feel like the first film in its contract. There are some parts where it kind of like, oh, this feels like VHS. As far as bad the movie goes, like I said, it doesn't feel like a 28 anything movie. It just feels like a generic drama movie that just happens to be in the world of zombies and shit. Picture zombies out, doesn't even matter. Plus, like I said, it doesn't feel like you have to watch the first two movies at all. In fact, when the movie kicks on, there's like 5-second title card that says like, hey, yeah, 28 days later, the zombies shit happened. 28 weeks later, this happened. Now 28 years later, here we are. Completely caught up. Don't even gotta watch those other movies. You know, at the end of the day, 28 years later was a movie, like I said, on paper, it just feels like it was something else, and then it's like, yeah, somewhere marketing said, yeah, let's make it 28 years later. That'll put butts in seats, and that'll do it. Acting in the movie was pretty fun and serviceable. There were a lot of good shots, good cinematograph shots in the movie, too. That was great. But as far as, like, a horror movie and a zombie movie, no, it ain't it. So if you're going to this movie thinking, like, zombie apocalypse, zombie gore, no. There are naked zombies running around, so if you like that, that's in the movie. If we're going to see it, stream it, or skip it, I'm going to easily say that 28 years later would probably be a decent enough movie if you just went ahead and just skipped it. 28 years later, it's officially out in theaters now. You will see it. You're not going to see it. Type below. Let me know your thoughts on it. See you guys in the next video. As always, subscribe. Until next time.